Hello! If you're watching this, actually I guess probably I'll publish this regardless, but if you're seeing this, I am getting ready to go up to San Jose and see if I can get off the wait list for Fanime, which is a little bit daunting because I am gonna go by myself up there. It's a 3-hour drive and I have to get up there by like 3 p.m. to see if I can get off the wait list and get a table, and if I do, then I'm coming all the way home immediately and getting all my stuff together to drive all the way back up there tomorrow morning to do the convention. It's gonna be a lot, and I'm a little bit nervous because I don't usually do these sorts of things. I'm not the one that drives, and it's gonna be an adventure, so let's go on an adventure. I'm not alone. It alive for now. This is about right for the day. This is about right. Trying to jerry-rig her damn flip-flop because it broke in the middle of the sidewalk on our way to dinner. So it's the next morning and I did not get a table. I didn't really film the rest of the day because my phone was dying, and we had to join a virtual queue instead of physically lining up to get into registration. And I had to keep an eye on that queue to wait to see when my number was going to be called, and I had to go all the way back to my car to charge. So it was just a whole thing. So I'll go into it more probably later in this video, but at this point I figure leaving all of this in is, one, a good way to like document that, hey, I did something really adventurous for the sake of my business, and also just to show like the bad risks that you can take in your business. So for now I'm just gonna go mope. So Ryan was so impressed that I did the San Jose drive all by myself that when I got home at like 9:30 last night, he had surprised me with some flowers and some chocolates and my favorite coffee and a bottle of wine because he knew that I was sad that I didn't get a table, but you know, still proud that I went on such a huge adventure all by myself. Well, with my mom, which was actually a good idea, but I drove by myself. I don't usually do the big long drives. That's his job. So love to see a supportive partner. Circle. Oh, shit. What are your crimes?
For loving you too much.
Oh. Okay, I literally already did the unboxing because I wasn't planning on doing an unboxing, but look! I already peeled these ones so you can see them real clearly. But these keychains, I'm dead. They're so cute. So these were in the May merch box. They were one of the additional merch items along with a tote bag. And it's obviously already like too late to get the May stuff, but the extras of these are going to go up in my shop probably in a couple weeks. I do have a convention in the next week or so that I want to have these available for, and then I'm going to do another big old online thing probably with the new stuff and maybe some more pre-orders of things I have in mind and the B grade pins. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, lots of little puppies. And then I just restocked some other shaker charms. Like I got the picnic baskets back in, and they had a couple of other periwinkle keychains from a previous order, so they included those, and some goldfish. They always send these cute little like peelers for the film on the front, but I don't peel the film off of my keychains before sending them out just in case. So I have a collection of these now. And last time I ordered the moss ball shaker charm, they did them incorrectly where there wasn't a backside to the moss ball. So these are corrected ones. So these will be back in my shop. And then what else is in here? I already forgot. I was so excited about the puppies. Hello. Oh yeah, more Ouija boards and more vending machines. Yay! So all these are going to be held on to for the upcoming convention that I have, and then everything else will go into my shop. And yeah. So it's been a couple days now, and I just took the long weekend to have a nice, relaxing, kind of productive, not in a business kind of way, time to just kind of keep my mind off of not being at Fanime, because I feel like everybody I know was at a convention over the weekend and I had big FOMO, and it was just, I needed all the distractions I could get. So on Saturday, Ryan and I went up to the mountains and we had a nice little outing and got to eat some good food. And I think Saturday night and into Sunday, we watched all of the new Stranger Things season, and I got some artwork done, and we also went out and hung out with some friends, walked around the local college, played Pokemon Go, and we also did a lot of cleaning around the house. So it was a really good, nice weekend, and I actually ended up having like an impromptu flash sale on my website because I didn't get into Fanime, so I offered free shipping for the whole weekend, and I got a couple orders. I really appreciate everybody who came through and supported me, because I know that shipping is sometimes the thing that keeps people from buying online, and I thought that, I like to do this every once in a while if I don't get into a convention, where I will do like a free shipping, pretend you're at the convention shopping with me sale kind of thing. So that went well. Got a few orders from that, and yeah, just trying to figure out what to do next. So I did want to give a little bit of clarity to the Fanime situation, because I know I wasn't the only one in that boat. If you didn't know, there was 2 waitlists for Fanime if you didn't get in. One was like a regular waitlist where you would be invited off of it up until I think about 2 weeks from the convention. And after that one ended, there was also a last minute waitlist, which went up until May 25th, which was 2 days before the convention. And I think I talked about this in the last vlog, but I was waiting around until that very last minute to see if I got in. And I figured, based on other artists that I follow and friends of mine who were gotten off the waitlist, that they would send you an email personally based on your jury score and say, hey, we have space, would you like to come up and do it? And they didn't. It was an email received at like 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday saying, hey, we have about 10 spaces available in the Artist Alley. They are first come, first serve. You have to come up to the convention center with all of your documentation to grab a spot. And of course I did it, and I got up there thinking, like, who else is gonna show up at like right at 3 p.m.? Like, what are the odds? Turns out they were pretty good. Not in my favor. A lot of people were there, I think, for the same reason I was, and they weren't letting people into the convention center to do registration. They had everybody waiting outside, and there was easily like 150 people there when I got there at like 2:45, and I know several of them were there for waitlist tables, and everybody else was there for badge registration. So like 10 minutes before 3 o'clock, they came out with these huge QR codes and had us all join a virtual line instead of lining up physically. And of course, you can probably guess how that went. It was really clogged at 3 o'clock, and it took several minutes for like any of the requests to go through to join the line. And by the time I did, I was number 217 in line, and everybody was together. So they didn't specify like, hey, this is how many people are in the special registration line for a waitlist table versus a badge. Like, there was no way to know how many people deep I was in line to get a table. So the other frustrating thing was my phone was dying. I had like 17%, and I couldn't just stand around with my phone on watching this number and standing around to see what was going on, because I had to charge it so that I had directions to get home. So I had to go all the way back to my car, which was like a block and a half away in a parking garage, to charge my phone. And I sat around for, I think, like an hour, and they said they'd email when your spot was almost to be called in line, and it wasn't moving for a long time, and then it started to move, and I think by about 6 o'clock, I just decided, you know what, this isn't going anywhere. And I thought there was another line you had to stand in to have your vaccine cards checked and all of that. So we went home. And I found out the next day that the line that I saw a couple hours later was actually the registration line, because they decided to not end up using the virtual line. They just had everybody line up anyways. I thought it was to get your vaccine cards checked, and that was not the case. And I was so frustrated because I could have just stuck it out a little bit longer and gotten in line to see. And I think that was the case for a lot of other people. Nobody really knew what was going on, and it was very frustrating. But then I found out later by a friend that went up to try and get into the convention that I probably wouldn't have gotten in anyways, because they had such strict COVID protocol that the booster shot that I have from September of 2021 would have been too old. So, and I'm not eligible for a current one. And I don't know how anybody who was trying to be diligent on top of things throughout this pandemic would have gotten into that show. So it was all around a very frustrating learning curve, but hopefully next year will be a little bit different, and there's definitely a fire lit under me to do more fan art and improve my art style and all that, all that stuff to get in next time and not even have to be on the wait list. So we'll see how it goes. But I would love to show you guys the new June rewards. They're all Fresno Nightcrawler theme, and if you don't know what the Fresno Nightcrawler is, I highly suggest you look it up. They're very weird little cryptids. They're just little pants, and I love them very dearly. And a lot of people who are born and raised here have never heard of it, so I love having people learn about a new local hometown cryptid of mine. So there is room in all of the tiers right now. I know some spots opened up in the Pin Club, which was sold out for May, and I also consolidated all of the international tiers for all of the rewards that would be shipped with tracking to US only, because it's just so complicated to ship internationally with Patreon, because they don't offer VAT or anything like that for going to the UK or the EU, as far as I know. And it would just be easier to kind of worry about that stuff, like, not on a Patreon platform. So I did add 5 more tiers to Pin Club, the Mix and Match Club, and the Merch Box tier. So be sure you join by the end of the month for all of these rewards. I already have the remakes of the May pin, the dog bread, and the Nightcrawler pin for June, and the patches. They're on their way to me. They're going to be delivered like next week sometime. And the stickers will go into production soon, as will the lanyards, and they will all be here by the end of the month. And I hope you guys are very excited about them. But anyway, I will go ahead and end the vlog here. We are going this weekend to the coast for Pokemon Go Fest. But it's going to be fun. We're going to go with friends, and I'll probably put a little bit of that in the next vlog. And hopefully some more fun content in the shop, and get actually back in here and doing artwork and all the good stuff you guys like to see. So, I want to thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it's